What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is CJ, the Cheese DJ here, and we're back with another Ark Insight video. And today, we're taking a look at the Feathered Rex versus the Allosaurus. So that's the Yutyrannus against the Allosaurus. Look at those ridges. They just look so menacing. It looks like a devil. Anyway, we're getting distracted. Huge thank you to all the new subscribers that have come along, all the viewers that have come along. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for the support. It means a lot to me. But without further ado, the main reason why you came here, to see the video. Now, let's get into it. Now, we're going to take a look straight up, there you are, couldn't find you, at their stats. Now, you can see here the Yutyrannus has 1100 health, 420 stamina, wink wink, nudge nudge, 500 weight, and 125.8 melee damage. Now, if we come across to the Allosaurus, he will have slightly lower stats than that at 630 health, 250 stamina, 380 weight, and 125.8 melee damage. So already you can see a big difference between the Allosaurus and the... Did you just try eating me? Is that what you were trying to do? Hard to find good dinos these days. So there's a big difference between the Allosaurus and the Yutyrannus. Now we're going to get into some more in-depth testing, test out their movement speed, test out their swim speed, see how they go. Let's get into it. So we tested their movement speed and their stamina at the same time. And it was really surprising, actually. So, like I said earlier, the Yutyrannus has 420 stamina and the Allosaurus has 250 stamina. Now, they both ran the course in about 7.6 seconds. Now, our Allosaurus is glitching out at the moment. I don't know what's going on with him. We did just run it earlier. I don't know what is going on right now. Are you feeling alright, buddy? You're a little bit sick? Okay. So, that's weird. Something strange is going on. So we ran the course with the Allosaurus in 7.65 seconds actually, and his total stamina lasted for about 12 seconds. So you'll see soon the Yutyrannus's movement speed and stamina usage, and there's not much of a difference between the two. We're going to figure out what happened to Mr. Allosaurus over here, and then we'll get back into it. Alrighty, so Mr. Allosaurus is all fixed up and ready to go. Now, like I said, the Yutyrannus managed to run the course in 7.60 seconds. The Allosaurus ran it in 7.65. So, literally like half a millisecond is the difference between the two. Now, the Yutyrannus had slightly lower stamina use, higher stamina use than the Allosaurus. He only managed to run for 11 seconds before running out of stamina, whereas the Allosaurus ran for 12 seconds. Now, we tested their swim speed, and the Yutyrannus was significantly slower than the Allosaurus. You can see here, he's a giant chicken swimming underwater, especially with those legs. Look at those legs. So, he's so slow underwater, so don't plan on taking him into water anytime soon, because you'll probably be staying there for a long time. Now, the Allo wasn't even that much better than the Yutyrannus. He was slightly better. We managed to time their swim speeds, and you see that oil node out there. We pretty much swim out to that oil node. Now, the Yutyrannus completed it in 32 seconds, while the Allosaurus completed it slightly faster at 29 seconds. So, there's not really much of a difference between the swim speed of the two dinos. However, you know, the Yutyrannus obviously has the lower stamina use, and we're about to die with our Allosaurus because of his oxygen, and we have no stamina. So, it looks like we're going to have to spawn in another Allosaurus. Unless we can somehow magically get to the shore by using admin commands. Maybe. No, we don't use those. And we're going to die. We can see that oxygen slowly depleting, going into nothing. Come on, Allosaurus, you can do it. Come on, Allie. And go. Make it before you die. Okay, we got oxygen. Woo! Woo, I can breathe again. Thank God for that. Luckily, we have admin commands activated, so we don't actually drown. Just our dinos do. That's convenient, isn't it? Slightly sadistic, but convenient. So the turning radius of the two, obviously the Yutyrannus had the wider turning radius because of his size. You can see there's still a pretty tight circle. Now his walking turning radius is pretty much the same as you'd expect. Nothing really different here compared to the other dinos that we've done. Now the Allosaurus is obviously the same. He does have a slightly better turning radius. You can see there we're able to maneuver. While getting dizzy, you can see, you know, he's got a better turning radius. His turning radius is much more tighter than the Yutyrannus's, and you can see his walking turning radius is pretty much the same. So, you know, there's not really much of a major difference in turning radiuses. The Allosaurus has a slightly better turning radius, however. Now, we have our token Thylacolea here for the test dummy purposes for melee damage, and you can see the Allosaurus is doing 44 DPS per second. He doesn't have any other attacks, unfortunately. He's just got his one primary attack. However, he does get a boost while in a pack. He actually manages to get quite a large boost where his damage is increased and he gains a bleeding effect on dinos. You can see that Altholocolio didn't have it because he obviously doesn't have the pack boost. But he's one of the few dinos that actually can apply the bleed effect to other dinos and players. I think the only other one that is able to apply the bleed effect is the Kentrosaurus, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. Now, the Yutyrannus has 3 attacks. However, his primary attack is rather slow. It's a lot slower than the Allosaurus's. So you can say he's got a bit of a wind-up time. Now, he's got that attack which does 69 damage. Now, as you already probably know as well, he also has the Roars, which deplete 250 stamina. Now, he's got that threatening one, and he also has the alley boosting one. Now, you should see here our Allosaurus light up slightly. Nope, the Allosaurus does not want to cooperate and doesn't want none of the Yutyrannus's buff. He's like, I'm going against you in this video. Don't give me your buff. Alrighty, so now we'll move on to their abilities. Now, like I said, the Yutyrannus has the alley boosting roar, which boosts the amount of damage that alleys do and lessens the amount of damage that they take. Now, you can see that our Allosaurus is buffed. He also has a threatening roar, which we can't find anything around. So that pretty much makes a purple kind of silhouette around dinos, and they run around in fear if it's a lower form dino. So like, you know, like the lower dinos, like raptors, that sort of stuff. However, if they're not a lower form dino, they still stay in fight. However, they deal reduced damage by 50%, and your Yutyrannus also takes less damage. So as I mentioned earlier, in packs, Allos gain an extra attack. However, they also gain extra benefits and buffs from being in a pack. And the way the pack mechanic works is you have a pack of 3 Allosauruses, and the highest level Allosaur that you have is the pack leader. Now, while in a pack, your Alpha Allo increases the amount of damage that it does by 50%. He also takes a reduced amount of damage, which is reduced by 25%. And like I said, he gets the extra attack, which is your secondary attack, that slows the target and does bleeding damage. Now, as well as this, he also has the ability to roar while tamed and mounted. Obviously, you have that third attack. Well, it's not a third attack, it's just a roar kind of thing, something like a cosmetic kind of thing. Now, when you roar with your Alpha Allo, the other 2 following our Allos will also roar. So you've got that bonus as well. So as for their torpor, a level 50 Allosaurus took 26 crossbow bolts to knock out, 18 long neck darts to knock out, and 9 shocking trank darts to knock out. Now, he lost his torpor at a rate of 1.6 per second, which isn't too bad. Now, obviously, a level 50 Yutyrannus took more than the level 50 Allosaur, as the Yutyrannus is larger than the Allosaur. So he took 39 crossbow bolts, 28 long neck darts, 14 shocking trank darts, and it lost its torpor at a rate of 1.5 per second. So it's got a lower torpor loss than the Allosaurus, which is kind of surprising. Alrighty, next up we're going to make these guys battle to the death. Alrighty, so one more thing that we haven't done in a while actually, is to see how much they go up by every level. Now, we used to do it on our older Arkansas videos. I don't know if you guys have checked those out or noticed, but yeah, we used to see how much they would go up per level, so we thought we'd bring it back. So it'll all be obviously in a table at the end for you guys to get a closer view on. But for the Allosaurus, he gains 600. Sorry, no, that's way too wrong. So for the Allosaurus, he gains 33 health per 1 level. Stamina, he gained 25. So he was at 250 and now he's at 275 after applying a level. Oxygen, he only gained 15 points of it. We're not going to put anything into food because that's a complete waste. Now his weight is at 380. He is now at 395.2, so he gained 15.2 weight. And his melee damage is at 125.8. And it is now at 128. So he gained 2.2, I believe, in melee damage. Now we're going to move on to the Yutyrannus and take a look at how much he levels up by. Alrighty, so most of the time it's just 10% of each of their stats. Now, because they have base stats, obviously they're going to be increased by higher amounts. So for example, for the Yutyrannus, his health would go up by 10%. I believe, so it went up by 49, so he's at 110 and he's at 159 now, so it went up by 49. His stamina is at 420 and that went up to 462, so that went up by 42, yeah, 42 points. Oxygen, same as the Allosaurus, sorry, 15 points. food, we're going to skip over. His weight went up by 20. Melee damage is the same as the Allosaurus, 2.2. Alright guys, so now we're going to get these guys to battle each other to their death, and I can already tell you who's going to win. And you can see that the Yutyrannus has gone straight for the raw, so already the Allosaurus is doing less damage and the Yutyrannus is doing so much more damage. And you can already see which way the fight's going. Now, whether you should tame either or both of these guys up, I definitely recommend both. The Yutyrannus for his raw buffs and debuffs just makes him an invaluable part of any tribe. Now, the Allosaurus as well is really good, I think. Now, you obviously need them in a pack. I definitely recommend getting the Allosauruses in a pack before you think about just taming one and using that as your sole mount. You definitely need to have those guys in a pack because they're monsters when they're in a pack. That bleed damage that they do is just incredible. So that'll be it, guys. I've got nothing really else to say other than that. But thank you for watching. Let me know if you guys liked the little bits of leveling up. If that makes sense. You know what I'm talking about. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.